volatility that's in the market these days, you're going to get another maybe test of it or a continuation rotation to the downside or the upside, depending on which way we're going, right? So consequently, if you missed the 30, we got to 35, you're going to get, if we go right down there again, we're probably going to extend a little bit more than 34 because of the extra volatility that's out there. So that's why we make that adjustment, because we're assuming because of the volatility that's in there, we're going to extend even more than the 34. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that right now. So hopefully we made that little adjustment against it. I mean, the level was still good, is what I'm trying to say. It wasn't. Again, if you didn't get filled, we did the same thing up at. The 45 was perfect. It was right down to 45 and back up. All right. So that's why we make those little adjustments. All right. So if you did make that adjustment, then you should have done okay. I mean, and now we are just floating back up here again. If you're trying to stay long, anything below 28, we'll probably get down to 24 area, which is our next support level. All right, let me give you a couple other levels below the 10 that I gave so far this morning. Like I said, we never know which way the markets are going to go. And like you saw yesterday, not only did we give you more levels to the downside and they even got filled, we rotated back up and started using the levels on the upside that they gave after the morning. So very wild kind of day yesterday. So the pivot, below the 10, we got 46 even, 89, 78, and 72. So below the 10, and they're right there in the chat box area. If you look at the chat box, if you bring up the chat box area, you'll find the additional levels that spit it out, Saul. We just gave out. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. So I asked my wife I said, so is it supposed to warm up this morning, today? She goes, yeah. And she goes, well, what is it right now? She goes, it's 10. I go, that's really warm. 10 degrees outside. And she goes, well, it's supposed to get up to 30s. I'm like, yeah. So 10 degrees up to the 30s, it's going to feel like summer around here in Chicago. I throw that out to him. At 8 p.m. Well, tomorrow will be nice then. Tomorrow will be really nice. Not golf weather, though, because it's not happening. That's right. The whole day it's going to be warming up. It's going to be in the 20s most of the day. Damn. Good thing you told me there, Tim. It's right. As the night, it's going to warm up all night long. Oh, tomorrow morning, though, 30 degrees. That's what they're predicting. All right. Well, it's chilly out there, just in case you guys are wondering. It is definitely the frozen tundra. Snow's out there. It's glistening because there was some light rain that happened 2 or 3 days ago, and the light rain was frozen rain. Pretty much, it was just frozen. It was cold, and there's like this sheet of ice on the snow. Very pretty, but very dangerous, especially if you have a driveway. Had to, you get used to this kind of stuff around here. Is that 39 degrees there, Don, or what? We're hoping to get to 39 degrees. Oh, Don's target is 39. Okay. I know what you were talking about. I'm just messing with you. I wish we could get to 39. It's not happening. Not around here. I mean, temperature-wise. All right. All right. So again, little adjustments in our areas that we're focused in on based on the price action, and hopefully you're able to stay with this trade. Hopefully you stayed with the other trades that we had on this morning. And that's the only trade that we kind of got run over, but I suggested that maybe you should exit the trade or scratch the trade. Was the first level there at 54. Market gave you a chance to exit the trade for a scratch. I suggested I didn't like the price action. So consequently, I was, there you go, Don. Happy now? Not only did Don wish us to get to 39 degrees, he also got his 39 target in the market. So he's happy camper. All right. He is a happy camper. Way to go. All right, so market continues to push back up again. If you have a trailing stop, this is how you can. It went down there and retested it for a quick second, and then we said anything below 28, probably get us down to 24. Hopefully, if you wanted to, put a little tight stop there against that rotation to the downside, that was probably a good opportunity with a 2-point stop. I mean, sometimes you could have a 2-point stop even though the volatility is here, but based on the price action. So we said anything below 28, probably get us down to 24. So you could have had a tight 2-point stop when it rotated back down there to the 30. Maybe if you felt like wanting to get long again, could have had a nice little stop. Sometimes when you find your exit strategy in the market, gives you an entry point. Whether you're long or short, it really doesn't matter as long as you find your exit strategy. Oh yeah, let's see if Powell is testifying at the top of the hour. Oh God, that's brutal. Who wants another update? Thanks for reminding me. Let me check it out here. Let's see. Powell testifies before the Senate Banking Committee. Great, fantastic, awesome. I hate it when that happens. So he is going to be chit-chatting in 7 minutes. Let's see. We don't have any economic reports coming out. And the only thing we got coming out is at 12 o'clock. There's a 3-year note auction, which might affect financials a little bit, bond market, but we'll see. All right, so he's talking. Quasi F day here. Well, here, this is what's going on with technology. In a last-ditch effort to save his life, doctors at the University of Maryland Medical Center have transplanted a genetically modified pig heart into a patient, 57-year-old handyman from Maryland. He was doing well 3 days after the highly experimental surgery, and he's being monitored for immune system problems and other complications, but it's still too early to tell if the operation will work. Due to his condition, he had also received a pig heart valve about a decade ago, which, along with the pig skin grafts, are routinely used in humans. There you go. Genetically modified pig heart. So why can't they genetically modify a human heart? But then I wouldn't know the difference. I mean, if you can do one, can't you do the other? I mean, I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm just reading what it says. But hey, let's hope it works for this guy. It was either do or die for this transplant. I want to live, he said. I know it's a shot in the dark, but it's my last choice. said 9 hours after his surgery, while he knew there was no guarantee the experiment would be effective, he was ineligible for a human transplant or pump due to heart failure conditions and irregular heartbeat. The FDA, which oversees such experiments, allowed the whatever name they gave it, surgery under compensation use emergency authorization, which is available when a patient with a life-threatening condition has no other options. Wow. All right, market now continues to downtick here. Next support level we have is down at the 24 area. Keep your stops in place with this one. Okay. So we give you other levels below. Let's see what happens. Are we going to kind of do the same thing we did yesterday? Who knows, right? We never know what's going to happen. All we can do is trade the market, whatever opportunities they give us, and then see what happens. Go from there. Right now, resistance would be back around the pivot area there at 60. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box area. So they made a new low by a few ticks here, a couple points, and then rotating back up. Very volatile little market right now. Kind of good to just kind of stay out of this choppiness. Rally, break, you know. They go down from to 46 and go down to almost 26 in 5 minutes. You know, 20-point moves. Tough to trade this little range game that they play. Even though you're watching the market flicker on the screen there, it's kind of hard to say when it's going to stop, when you're going to get in for long or short. So patience is important. And waiting for our good opportunity is even more important. We have to let the price action kind of dictate what we're trying to do. We either use those or our levels. Like I said earlier, if we got below 28, we could probably go down to 24. We did get there below 28, but we then it stopped and rotated back up. So we had 24 as our next support area. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. All right, Powell going to be talking now, getting ready for the latest appearance by Fed Chair Powell, who will visit Capitol Hill today for his confirmation before the Senate Banking Committee. Back in November, he was nominated by President Biden to serve a second term and leading the central bank along with Lael Brainard, who was nominated to be vice chair of the Fed. Her hearing will take place on Thursday. Expect questions and commentary on inflation, rate hikes, the labor market, and the speed of economic recovery. So basically what that's saying is we are going to have an F day right now, okay? Because he could say anything, and especially he could answer questions from the senators. Is that what they're doing? Yeah, Senate Banking Committee. So you never know what his answers are going to be, how the market's going to perceive his answer, how it's going to affect the bond market, how it's going to affect the equity market. So having that in the background and knowing that it's going to be there should put a little concern into your trading, and being a little bit careful. Pick your spots, make sure you keep your stops in place. All those things come in play when you're talking about an F day here. And this is Fed day to the extreme, given the fact that he's a chairman and he could say whatever he wants to say and could create market volatility at any given moment. So be prepared. In his prepared remarks, he said, and we know that high inflation exacts a toll, particularly for those less able to meet the higher costs of essentials like food, housing, transportation. Both the initial shutdown and the subsequent reopening economy were without precedent and have led to persistent supply and demand imbalances and bottlenecks, and thus to elevated inflation. Now there's no transitory anymore. We will use our tools to support the economy and a strong labor market and to prevent higher inflation and from becoming entrenched. Inflationary risks and tighter monetary policy have already led to increased volatility for risk assets. That means equities. Following the big sell-off last week, stocks whipsawed on Monday. Yeah, I know it was yesterday, starting the day deep in the red, only to see a strong intraday rebound of highly valued growth stocks. Expectations of the Fed's hiking cycles are causing some convulsions, and it remains to be seen how committed traders will be to the recent reflation rotation. Oof, I love that. Reflation rotation. That's sometimes I feel that way too, Chad. Trust me. It's that delicate tightrope that Powell has to walk. He really doesn't want to leave an impression that they are massively behind the curve. Okay, massively behind the curve. A lot of economists are saying that they really messed this one up. Stock market doesn't mind it though. All right. All right, so again, we are heading into, or we are into the beginning of the testimony from Powell. So, like I said, he could say anything at any moment in time. So, I would be very careful as far as our trading is concerned. And making sure if you're going to trade right now, again, I don't personally like F days. Anytime the Fed starts chit-chatting away, it's not my favorite trade. I've lost a nice amount of money trading these days. Who wants to do that, right? So, kind of giving you my lesson from my weaknesses. Some other people love trading it, so I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm just telling you that I don't like to, because you just never know when they're going to say something. All right, that's my own personal thing, though. Okay, resistance would be still around, 57 to 60 area. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, coming up here really quickly. Again, he is talking, so You're going to get these moves here based on him chit-chatting away. Little resistance around the, like I said, 57 to 60 area. Keep your stop in place no matter what. We just never know what's going to happen. Right? So be mindful of that. We did have a pretty decent morning considering we flushed down there. At least we did. We did bounce off of our levels a little bit. And now we're just, see, they made a new low by a few ticks and then rotated right back up. Sometimes, like I always say that the market, for you want the market to go up, it has to go down first. Sometimes you're like long and you're like, oh God, here it goes. It's going to go back down a little bit. And a little rotation to the downside, got everybody short there, and then popped it right back up. Created a drive to the upside. All right. Again, the market is also being influenced by Powell talking. So, these Fed guys are very good at making it seem like everything's hunky dory. That's what they're good at. All right. Again, we have a little resistance between 57 and 60. Anything above 63, definitely don't want to be short. As the market is absorbing his commentary, trying to decide what it wants to do next. Now, when we get up to 50, 4 and change up there and rotate it back down. Again, I have no feel for this right now. So we got resistance around 57 to 60. Otherwise, can't. We already tested some of these levels that we talked about. Of course, 54 change area there is that first support level we had became resistance right now, and now we just kind of bounced off of it a little bit here. So really, even the 60 area right now that I thought might be, I mean, the first rotation back to our maybe a little bit. Obviously, because we already tested those levels on the downside, I don't really have any good support until we get down to 24. So, especially with him talking this morning, doesn't really add too much to the confidence factor here. Just being honest. But we had some good trades already this morning, so we can't complain. Like I said yesterday, we average about 4 to 5 trades a day. Yesterday we were well into a lot more than that. And if you stayed and traded the afternoon and traded our levels on the upside, you had more than that even. So consequently, you could have had we're definitely in the double digits area there for sure. Today, with our levels, maybe 3-4 trades, depending on how aggressive you want it to be. So, but on the average basis, I think we're right about that. That could be a right about right. That could be the right kind of what we're thinking about is about average 4 to 5 trades. I think that would be about right. All right. Again, if you look at the chat box area, for those of you who are just maybe stepping in, you'll see the levels that we gave out this morning. They are going to be used as a guide to the day. And we've already gone through a few of our levels to the downside, 54, 45, and 34. The next really good level on the downside we have is down at 24. Upside resistance would be a first level right now would be our pivot there. And then after that, you have our levels on the upside. We have Powell talking at the moment, who can create some volatility, Powell being the Fed chairman. Not our, we try to stay away when there's any kind of F situation going on, F being Fed. We don't like to get F'd on F days. So we are in a quasi F day, even though it's not one of those, they're going to tell you what they're going to do with the rates or what they're going to do with, or if one of them are talking, this is him talking. It's not even some of them are talking. And they're going to go to the Q&A section with some of these senators. So he's going to answer questions, and anytime he could answer a question, he could say something that the market might not appreciate. And then he might say something in the next breath that the market might appreciate. There you go. there you have your whipsaw trade for the day. And you can tell here, I think the market's kind of just tightening up here a little bit, trying to wait to see what he says or doesn't, and saying something now. So again, not loving this trade for the reasons that I gave. So be patient and kind of wait for opportunities. You'd be guessing if you ask me, are we going to go up or going to go down? I mean, right now, because of this rotation to the downside and a little double top there, anything above 55, I will want to be out of any shorts. So again, again, like I said, even though it is trading, and really we don't have any good support until the first level of support there, next level of support down to 24. I mean, you could pick and choose some of these other levels based on price action if you wanted to, but you could. And again, it all depends on how aggressive you want it to be. And everybody here has different risk tolerances. So if you're looking for trades with this back and forth choppiness, I'm not really looking for much. I'm just going to wait till one of our levels get triggered, either the downside or the upside, and let this choppiness here in the middle kind of play itself out. But that's me. Anybody could not necessarily have to do the same thing I do. Everybody's different. So you could choose some price action plays if you wanted to. But it's going to get a little bit choppy, as you can see here, because of the talking, the lighter volume that's in there, because nobody wants to get really caught with anything that he might say one way or the other. So again, if you're trying to be short here, anything above 55, you want to be out of any shorts. Forget the 60 area like before, like I said. Well, I mean, could work, but get above 55, you want to be out of any shorts. Again, if you were looking for a trade, I said anything above 55, you want to be out of any shorts. So again, given you have your exit strategy, you can find your entry point to a trade, right? You can go backwards. So if you sold the 53, 54 area here, or 52 area, then maybe you took a little bit of a scalping opportunity there. As long as you know where your exit strategy is, you can enter into your trade, right? So anything above 55 out of any shorts, consequently, you can adjust your entry point for a short if that's what you feel like doing. So again, like I said, sometimes you can find your trade by finding your exit strategy if you're scalping, and this is based on price action. If you are looking for a trade, right? But you got to let the market kind of create that opportunity. You can't just, the market created that opportunity for us if you were so inclined to do so. Again, whatever I say as far as any opportunities to trade or long or short or exit strategies based on the work that we do. And our education course shows you where to find these opportunities, why they are there, what to do with them, how to make those adjustments to them, where to find them, understand why they're there, and basically put some methodology to our trading system here that we're looking at. And if you are interested, let us know. We'll be obviously glad to help you. We do this on an everyday basis. We used to be on the Florida Exchange, but unfortunately, the floor is no more, at least not in Chicago. They shut those babies down when COVID started. And they continue to be shut down, unfortunately. But we're here in our conclave trading, so not so bad. Well, I mean, the options all should still be there, but they closed the floor. I mean, I think they're trading. I think they're still trading in New York someplace besides the stock exchange. I think I think there's still one of those. I don't think is not in Chicago. That I can tell you. Down in Chicago, there. Well, that's news to me. I thought that they shut everything down. So I do. You do have a friend there. So I think we ran into him when you were down there. Really, news to me. I didn't even know. Why would they have the euros and not all the options? Are all the options there, or just the euros? Or you wouldn't know? Yeah, I'm really surprised. That's because I was down there and it was dark. I went down there about a month ago. Walked by. It was dark. Couldn't get into the building. Well, for sure they enlarged it, but why not? It's only one there. Face shields, great. That was all news to me. I didn't even get a memo. I was surprised that I didn't even get anything. I guess if you're not in that pit, maybe you wouldn't. But I'm surprised that the CME didn't put something out. It's crazy. Well, it's good to know. Actually, I'm glad they are, but kind of a little scary at the same time. I don't know. You don't want to be around people screaming and yelling at each other. I do understand why they're not opening it again. That I do understand, but these days of the stupid life we're living in. People yelling and screaming at each other. But hey, I know one thing for sure. If the trader could trade in the pit, that they would. That's for sure. That I can give you, guarantee you. So I mean, if you told a pit trader you want to trade on a computer or do you want to trade on the floor, in the pit, he would 99% of it would say I'll trade on. So I understand why they want to be there, right? And I would, if I had that choice, probably I would do the same thing, right? But I can independently say why I think they're crazy because I don't have that choice. But if I did have that choice, I would probably say, you know what? Let's go. I'll wear a face shield. I wear a mask. I'll wear whatever you want me to do. Let's just trade. You know. Probably. So, all right, we're choppy, very choppy trade here. You could see, not surprising. This is what happens on an F day. We're just bouncing back and forth. Again, I gave you our parameters. They're wide, but they're also for a reason that they're wide. I don't have a good feel for it when the Powell is talking, answering questions to senators. They could ask any question. He could say anything he wants to say. And that's why you get the little choppiness here. We're chopping in a 10-point range, right? So this is big chop. And, something that you should just kind of watch, wait for an opportunity. We suggested above 55 out of any shorts. There was a little quasi opportunity. Um, if you so were so inclined. So all right, well there you go. There's the chopping. It's got above 56 and flushed it all the way back down. Not surprising. This is your typical F day. Up front and center. Totally up front and center right now. This is why we try to stay away from trading F days right there. This little 1-2 minute move, new highs, but a few ticks got above the 55, 56 area, and all the way back down to 45. Not surprising. I'm green and gone. Love that. Thanks there, Philip. Have a good one. Have a good day. So again, choppiness here. This is why we don't like trading F days. Just don't want to beat a dead horse, but it is what it is. Yeah, I mean they are. That's only because of they're just is what it is. All right, there you go. They flushed out. They made a sucked everybody out, got them all out of their shorts, and then flushed it all the way back down. Not a big surprise. Not a big surprise. So looking at the volatility is continuing as Powell is talking. I mean, this is what's going on here in the background. We are not surprised by this move. That's why we suggest that you be careful and not really trade that much while he's chit-chatting away here. Our support level on the downside is all the way down at the 24 area. That's where I'll be looking at next. I'm not really interested in messing around here with any of this stuff. It is what it is. This is what F days are all about. They create this crazy volatility. It's hard to jump in. You don't know where to jump in. You don't know where you play the range game, you get blown out, and then they do this reversal. Very tough. Tough to get, to understand why it does what it does. It does. This is what happens when you have these F days happening. So as I like to do, I just like to we had a good morning with our levels. They got triggered, and now I'm just kind of I'll be patient here and wait. Everybody has to. If you like this kind of trade, you should be careful and trade away. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box area, any comments or anything like that. Don't mind those questions or comments. Put them in the chat box. We'll get back to you. Right. Again, choppiness here continues. Support level that you have to be careful even with support levels now. Now that we're breaking down after making that fake out breakout move to the upside, and now we're continuing to down take as Powell is talking in the background. So you definitely have to take that into consideration if you're trading. The support there at the 24 area. That's our next level of support, and we'll see what happens from there. And just keep your stops in place no matter how you trade. That's all we can ask for. And we'll go from there, see if they continue or not. But this is not surprising, as this is what I expect from this kind of trade today with the Powell having a testimony to the Senate committee. All right, again, we're going to come back down here and test these earlier lows. Again, the next support level we have is down at 24. Basically, what we're trying to do here is keep you out of trouble, right? So we try to, we understand that the Powell is talking in the background, and we understand that he could create some volatility, and it's kind of hard to predict which way the volatility is going to go. As you could tell, they made that little rotation to the upside. You thought that it was going to rally, and that completely fell out of bed. So we were just being patient and waiting, and you might have to wait or not even trade, right? I mean, that is an alternative. Get long or short, and you can also not do anything. Right. So sometimes not doing anything is a profitable way of looking at things, right? Because trying to catch one of these moves, when they fake you out like that, it's kind of tough to do, right? So, but some people like it. Some people we're looking to get up to at 56, 7 area to get short, and if he did great. But I had no idea what was going to happen, or that was going to happen, or anything like that. So the price action wasn't going to tell me that. That's for sure. So trying to stay out of trouble is another aspect of trading that we try to do here. Very massive rotations, right? They catch everybody one way and they pop it right back up. And then again, if you are trading, if you catch one of these moves, that's good for you. Good to trade. Bond market reacted negatively there to that. I think the bonds and the S&Ps might be moving together, at least in the short term, until things settle down or less the market gets too heavy and really breaks down. They'll create a little push to the S&Ps because they'll say, okay, we're not going to raise much more. I don't know. Who knows, right? I like to play that game, but at least initially, at least for the time being, I think they might move. together. But the volatility here continues, and I saw double bottom there at the 31 area, and pop back up. Again, if any of this stuff interests you, please let us know. I know sometimes you feel like you have to trade or want to trade, but it's very tough to find. You want to find good opportunities based on whatever work you put into it, whether it's our stuff or something of your own. And you have to be patient and wait for those opportunities. It's one thing I've learned when I'm trading electronically here versus trading on the floor. I had many more opportunities to trade on the floor, and I've had to curtail those opportunities based on the fact that you just can't get into every like to or want to, because the market's just moving too quickly with the influx of infusion of algorithms and so on and so forth. And then you have people talking in the background that really can create some volatility. It's created on the floor too, but not as strong as some of these moves that you're finding here electronically. But as long as you adjust to the market, then you should try to keep you in. You understand why it's happening. Hopefully, then you can either stay in it, stay out of it, get involved at areas that you think will work, all of that stuff. Okay there, Jim. Brad will make sure or take care of that for you when he gets back in. I appreciate you checking up on that for us. And we'll try to straighten it out so that it makes so that everybody's happy. How's that? He'll see that when he gets back in. You can just tell him to refer to your text when he gets back in here. All right, they're done. Good trading. It's been, I don't know if it's slow, but it's kind of wild there for a bit. All right. All right, we get parameters here. I mean, this is the middle of this little big range that it's in, and we understand why it's in it. We talked about the fact that Powell is chit-chatting in the background, so patience is important. Waiting for opportunities to present themselves is important, and understanding that it is going to get a little bit more volatile when he's talking, and that's what's happening right now. So we will just you got to just be patient and wait for. Uh, I mean, an alternative, like I said earlier, is probably not to trade when this stuff is going on in the background, because he could say anything, answer a question the wrong way, create some extra volatility that the market wasn't expecting, and thus you get these big moves one way. Keep your stops in place. Next support level on the downside we have is down at 24. We also give you those other levels on the downside that we gave out earlier. If you just scroll up your chat box area there, you'll find them. And we'll just be a little bit patient here. We get above the 60, actually probably get about 64, 65, probably push us up to our upper levels on the upside. Now, will that happen? If I told you yesterday that wasn't going to happen, I would have been wrong, because it definitely did happen yesterday afternoon. We rotated from way lows, lower than this, and got through our pivot and started trading with levels on the upside. So kind of a, you never know, just never know what's going to happen in futures trading. Just never know. So stay focused, keep your stops in place, be patient, wait for the opportunities to present themselves, and then take advantage of it when they do. It's something that you like, have a good reason to enter your trades. Try to give you those reasons all along. And I'll get back here in a bit.
Hey, quick shout out to Jim T. Hey, Jim T, welcome aboard. Just use the same link you're coming in that you came in today. You're going to get an email from Zoom on a daily basis to join this trade along. We appreciate you signing up and being part of our family. We call it friends and family. Just let me know if you're receiving this message. That's for Jim T. So, Jim, you're all set. Just come in the regular way. We'll keep an eye on you. If at any time in the future you want to upgrade into Saul's trading mentoring and his training, which is done in a private Zoom room. And I think you took time, I could send it out to you, to review the website, which is tradealongtradingacademy.com. Tradealongtradingacademy.com. What I'll do is I'll send you out a link for that. And I'll send it out to you privately in you got it. And welcome aboard. Mark was a little crazy. Well, is a little crazy, so I didn't want to pop in. I would have welcomed you earlier. So don't worry about the PayPal versus the registration that you made for this Zoom webinar. That's all good. And if at some point you want to have a private trading consultation, let us know also, to hear about what happens in the academy and what the opportunities are in there. We start here at 9 a.m. You open up at 9 a.m. The body of the trading is done between 9:30 and 11:30. We like to be done early. Saul gives out his levels, his proprietary scalping levels at when he sets them for himself at 9:30, right around the cash open. He sets his pivot and other levels on top and bottom of that pivot. He gives his levels and zones out to everybody as a discipline for this morning's trade. He gives out a pivot and other prices on top and bottom of that pivot in the S&P 500 E-mini. He gives them out an audio, and he also posts them or has them posted in the chat area. For those that are looking to transition from guest to paid subscriber, we appreciate it. And up, welcome. Haji, welcome. Hey, Anand, how are you? I saw you slip in there before. Bill H, how are you doing? Chad. Hey, Derek. Kent. Frank. Edward. Hey, Timothy. Roop. Robert. Hey, Rama. Michael. We have a nice group of individuals in here that are subscribed to Saul's services. TradeAlongLive.com is the link to register for this guest pass, or the guest pass to come in here on a daily basis to check it out. We ask you to also review the website, which is TradeAlongTradingAcademy.com, where you can read about Saul's trading, mentoring, and training service, which is done in private class in a private Zoom room with all the bells and whistles. Saul takes you under his wing, teaches you how he makes his money, how he does his business, how he makes his money. He can tune you up as a trader in his mentoring. He can add in his price action trading methodology if you so choose. And then you come in here to this Trade Along live session as a proving ground and an access point to Saul as you're applying your newfound trading skills. What's nice about the mentoring and education part, or the training part, is that you receive access to this Trade Along live session as a bonus, and it lasts for a year. So it's the best of both worlds. We do have a lot of traders that just sign up for this Trade Along live session and love it. They like the fact that Saul gives out his levels and zones, and he's their wingman for the morning session. Looking to do 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. Looking for a minimum trading profit on each trade of 2 points plus. That's a minimum trading profit on each trade of 2 points plus. Saul looks to defend his trades out of the gate, based on a normal trading day of two. He has a 2-point stop. I would also venture to guess that your entries, exits, and stops are different than Saul would have you be doing based on his trading education and his mentoring service. We've had to exit some people from last week that for some reason were just sort of lingering and certainly not paying, subscribing or being part of the family, but also being non-responsive. So we thought they were bots, and we did have to exit them from our service. So again, if you like what we're doing here, tradealonglive.com, tell your friends. Want to review our website and see if there's some offerings in there for you, check out tradealongtradingacademy.com. If you'd like to have a trading consultation, sign up for this service, this Trade Along live session. Go from guest status to a friends and family member. And again, Jim, welcome aboard. No, you don't. We authorize you in the background. You can come in. And you're in complete control with PayPal. You can keep your subscription. You can cancel it. The fact that you got the discounted rate, it stays. So it doesn't roll over to the regular rate. It stays at the discounted rate, which is a real good thing. And again, if you like what we're doing here, tell your friends on social media and such. You can throw in that link, which is tradealonglive.com, tradealonglive.com. Everything we do is for educational purposes only. Nothing's taken as trading or investment advice. And we appreciate you being here. Now remember, the window of opportunity here for the Trade Along live session is between 9 a.m. and 12 noon. After 12 noon, Saul is in class. He is mentoring traders privately, and you could be one of them. Saul sets a schedule on an individual basis with his participants in his course and his mentoring work. And if you were in his class, when he sets his schedule with you, you just work out coming into that private Zoom room. So I'll be in the background if anybody needs me. Remember, the body of the trading here is between 9:30 and about 11:30. Depends on what Saul's got going and how the market is behaving. So let us know how we can help you.